pretties, welcome to Repurchase. So today I want to talk about my blush collection, which by the way, this eye look is a look. I don't know what I was thinking. Don't look too closely at my skin though, because I am having a bad skin day, and so my makeup on top does not look great. That's the only way to say it. It just does not look great. But we're here and we're going to talk about my blush collection. So a couple of months ago I did a video called Would I Repurchase My Eyeshadows, and then since I've done it again because my entire eyeshadow collection changed. And now I want to do the same thing with my blushes, because I do feel like my blush collection, it literally tripled in 2020. I had 3 blushes at the beginning of 2020, and by the end of 2020 I had 9, so it literally tripled. I want to talk about it, you know? I just want to talk about it. Yeah. I kind of just want to go through these blushes, and just this way I can like really see what it is that I want to keep. Not necessarily that I'm going to declutter any of them, but maybe that way I can like focus on certain things. So yes, before we get started, please do not forget to like and subscribe to become a resident of Repurchase, and let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the 2 blushes that I'm currently panning. Let's start with Milani Romantic Rose, which this is what it looks like right now. It is almost 100% gone. I've been very vocal about my dislike for this, so let's just talk about it. No, I would not repurchase. I would potentially consider repurchasing a different shade, deeper shade, but this is way too light for me, and I am not even that dark, and it takes a lot to build it up, which is how I've run through this. I've literally like swirl the hell out of it and put it on, and it's not enough, and I swirl and then do it again, and then swirl one more time and do it again, and then just for good measure, one more time I do it again. The formula itself is not bad. It's very buildable and doesn't look cakey even though I put a bunch of it on. It's just not the good shade match. I would potentially consider a different shade. But to be honest, this is supposed to be like a dupe for the Tarte one. I would much rather go for the Tarte one. I do think the Tarte blushes are a lot more pigmented, and I wouldn't have the same issue even with a lighter shade. Even with like a Tarte lighter shade, I would still be able to see the pigment, which with this one, I just cannot. I personally don't think these are actual dupes now that I'm thinking about it some more. I know in the past I was like, yeah, the formulas are similar, but the amount of pigmentation that this has in comparison to a Tarte blush is uncomparable. This just does not. I'm like, no wonder it gives you so much more product, because you need that much more to get this amount of pigment. So no, I would not repurchase. So let's just talk about that. All right, next one is the Milk Makeup in the shade, I think is Work. Yeah, which was a birthday gift from Sephora. I am running through this. If you see my Partners in Cream update, you will know this. I'm running through this. I'm actually really enjoying it. It's a lot thicker than I would have liked, but it's not bad at all. I do like it. I don't like it more than the Rare Beauty. I would not repurchase it just because I don't like how thick it is. It works well. It builds really nicely. It goes really well underneath powder. You can put powder on top of it and it doesn't like kick up or anything. It feels heavy though, and I don't particularly like it, and especially because of the Rare Beauty ones, which I'll talk about next. But no, I would not repurchase. So the Rare Beauty, this formula is so nice. I know a lot of people are turned off because of how pigmented it is. Sorry, I don't know what happened, but I ran out of breath, and then I had too much saliva, and I was like not swallowing. I don't know. I had a moment. Let's get back to it. But the Rare Beauty, I know a lot of people are scared because of how pigmented this is. Personally, if you just put one dot in each cheek and you blend it out, yes, it's gonna look really heavy, but once you put your powder on top, it's gonna subdue so much, and it's really long lasting. You don't have to worry about it, and it is so liquidy and so thin. It feels like you're wearing nothing on your face. I really like this. I do wish I would have gotten a different shade. I just feel like this is a little too corally, but I would repurchase this. I just would also like to have another shade. I'm thinking about this one's Joyride. Is it Bliss? I think it's Bliss, like the more neutrally shade. I wish I had that one as well. I wish I had both. But yes, I would repurchase this formula. It is so nice. I've never had anything like this. Again, I know people get scared at the beginning. Once you blend it out and then you put your powder, I promise you, once your powder goes in, it'll subdue significantly. You shouldn't have any issues after that. But love. Yes, I would repurchase that. Let's go with one that I really don't know. Let's go with my ColourPop Mulan highlighter, and this is in Good Luck Charm, and it's like a warm neutral shade. I actually do enjoy this. It's really similar to the Shayla X ColourPop Under Construction, which I have it right here. Hold on. Why am I not prepared for these things? I don't know. Basically, they're somewhat similar shades. This one's definitely more pigmented and deeper and a little more rosy, and while this one's a little peachier, if I could say that. Both of them are beautiful. I don't think I would repurchase the one from the Mulan. Not that I think it would be even available. I think this was supposed to be a limited edition, but I think it's just because this was like a satin and it has like a slight pearlization to it. So it's like tiny like little glitter specks in this one. They're tiny. But in this one, they're actually quite large. So when you can see them on your face sometimes. Like sometimes I'm looking in the mirror and then all of a sudden I see the sun hit me and I'm like, ooh, that is like, that's glitter on my face. That's straight up what that is. That's glitter. I don't love that. So there's that. But I actually do like the shade, and I think it blends really well and it builds really well. It doesn't fade whatsoever. I just don't love the glitters, but that's something that I can overlook. I would definitely finish this. I'm not getting rid of this packaging. I can tell you that even if I do finish it. I actually do enjoy this blush because I just don't love the glitters, which is why I wouldn't repurchase it, not that I think it would be available. Another one that I don't think would be available, but I actually would repurchase if it was, would be this ColourPop one for Ex Shayla. I love this shade. I didn't expect it because it's so pigmented. It is a little harder to work with. Like I have to go really lightly and I can't overdo it. I usually do go overboard with my blush, but with this one you really just cannot. But even though it's so impactful and so in your face, and it's almost red without being red, if that makes any sense. It's like a really deep terracotta, not even terracotta, it has such a rose reddish undertone. And you would think that would be a harder thing to pair, but it is surprisingly super easy to pair up. I can make any look pair up with this shade. Like I don't care if it's a cool tone or warm tone look. There's something about this shade that I can pair with anything regardless of how in your face it is, and I really enjoy that. This is gonna last me a really long time because of how pigmented it is, and Shayla even said it is meant for deeper skin tones. She is, you know, an African American woman and she has darker skin, and this is meant for someone like her. So yeah, I will say that when I first saw this shade though, I saw a bunch of reviews and a lot of people that I was watching had like really light skin, significantly lighter than me myself, and they were even saying that they liked this more and that they can make it work. So if they can do it, you can do it. I personally love it. If I just go a little bit with a light hand, it blends really beautifully and there's no issue with that, so I absolutely would repurchase this. Let's talk about two where I wouldn't. They're also from ColourPop, and I have these two right here, which this is, what is this? Why Hello, and excuse my French. The reason why I wouldn't repurchase these, there's actually nothing wrong with these blushes. I think they work really well. Actually, I'm just gonna pull them out. Okay, if I can do that. There you go. I actually like them really well. I do think it's really nice to have something pinky, which this is like a pink, but it's not like it looks like a baby pink, but it's not, if that makes sense. I think it's a little more subdued than that, so it's easier to like blend into your skin and it doesn't look so like in your face. I think this is a really nice shade. It's actually really pigmented, blends really well. It doesn't have any of those like shimmers, but still looks like natural and glowy without being glowy. I really actually like the formula. The only reason why I wouldn't purchase them is because I have similar shades from Persona that I like significantly better. Like that formula is something else. I've never had anything like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with these two, and if I didn't have those Persona cosmetic ones, I would absolutely buy these. I actually think these are a better deal. I think I got mine for like $6 or $8. I do think ColourPop's raised their prices since then, and I think they're more in the $10 range, but even if that is the case, they're still significantly cheaper than the Persona ones, because I think the Persona blushes are like $22 or $26, something like that. I have to look it up, but I know they're above $20. And these are about $8-10, I think, on ColourPop. I haven't checked this price. I probably should have checked them before coming over here and talking about them, but they're really nice for the price. Actually, not even just the price, they're just nice blushes. It's just in comparison to Persona, they're not as good, and I do enjoy that formula a lot more. But that being said, I still really like these. Just putting that out there, I really like them. They're easy to wear. I'll definitely finish them up. I just wouldn't repurchase them. That being said, let's just talk about the last two that absolutely, yes, I would repurchase. And that is going to be the Persona cosmetic blushes. I just really enjoy this formula. Similar, this is a peachy shade, but it's slightly pinkier than excuse my French, that I was showing you guys earlier. And then this is caramel. This is significantly mauvier and almost like a purpley shade. It doesn't look purple when you put it on, but it has like a bit of a mauve purple undertone, which I really enjoy. And I think these are like the perfect like warm and cool blushes to have, and I love them. This formula, it's truly paralyte. I know I'm not saying that right, but it's glowy, but doesn't have any shimmer on it, like metallic glitter or anything like that. It's really nice. It's super natural. These are significantly more pigmented than anything I had. They blend nicely. They stay on beautifully. I wish Persona had more shades. I believe she has these two, and then there's one more called Terracotta, which I would consider purchasing in it at some point whenever I purchase my next Persona Cosmetics order, which who knows when that will be. But whenever that happens, I would consider purchasing that shade. But for now, this will do. And I really like them. I truly really do. Best formula I've ever had, I think, for powder blushes, and I would keep over purchase them. These actually remind me more of the Tarte blushes. It's just that they're not, there's something about them that they're softer than the Tarte ones. I do think the Tarte formula is slightly drying. This one's a little nicer, and these ones are a little glowier than the Tarte ones, which is, I mean, that says something, I think. But I do prefer this a little bit more of the Tarte one. I haven't had a Tarte blush in over a year and a half now, but I do like them a lot. But anyway, yes, I would repurchase these both. So that means that out of all my blushes, I will keep less than half. That's a problem. That's a problem. For sure, I would love to keep these three, and then this one right here. But that's it. I just want to talk about it. I want anyone to just look at my blush collection and just be like, what do I love? What do I not love? And just kind of talk about it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, I'll have a more fun one next time, I guess. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe to become a resident of F-Zero. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.